Hi everyone, weekly preview. It's the 9th of January, looking forward to 13th, 14th of January weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Just before I get to that, not a huge amount going on of significant interest in the UK, distance running wise, so I'll just mention a few things I've listened to this week which might interest one or two others. Sunday podcast, was with Ines Fitzgerald, who won the European Under-20 cross-country championships, and somebody I'd not heard really speak too much before. I thought she's really good for quite a young athlete. Talked about pressures and how development in the sport and things like that. Very interesting story, and she was very engaging and very articulate in terms of what she explained, and seems to have the right head on her shoulders to progress in the sport. So that was really good. Then I caught up with her. There's a series of podcasts called Athletics Life Stories, and there was one with Dean Macy, which I found quite entertaining. He won the silver medal in the World Champs Decathlon, and he won Commonwealth Games Decathlon. Quite a character, and that was very interesting, his development in the sport and what he's doing now in terms of coaching in schools and things like that. So that was quite good. And a couple who get quite a lot of stick sometimes on social media. It's called On Coaching with Magnus and Marcus in the States. It's a podcast. They were talking about, and it resonated with me, coaches all very well setting sessions and planning things, but if the athlete doesn't do their part in terms of how they recover and how they prepare for a session, then it defeats the object, and the session is probably not as impactful as it might otherwise have been. And so I've explained that to one or two mine. When you're a part-time athlete, there's only a certain amount you can do compared to a professional, but you can do certain things just to consider whether you can prepare for a session slightly better than you might otherwise have done, or you make sure you do a few bits and bobs straight afterwards and then the following day to try and recover as best you can, get the most out of those sessions and those hard days. So there's quite a bit more debate around it, but I just thought I'd mention those three. So in terms of what's coming up, really from what I can see, there's some age group indoor championships in the UK and normal proliferation of road races around the country, but the two main ones that caught my eye were the Valencia 10K on Sunday, where there could be a world record attempt on the women's side from Agnes Ningetic. Doesn't do a lot for me, to be honest. We come across road personal bests and records by the bucketful these days, and so it's very difficult to really put into context. There's also 4 sub 27 10K guys, including Jacob Kiplimo, down to do it. It's on Sunday morning. It could well be on the Valencia Ibercaja, as IBERCAJA YouTube channel. It's been on there the last 3 years, so you might be able to catch that on Sunday morning. Other than that, that's all really got to say about that. No doubt the men's and the women's results will be extremely fast, and I don't propose to do too much analysis on that. There's then the Houston Half Marathon, which holds a little bit. Well, there will be Brits in the Valencia 10K, but there'll be some interesting people going in the Houston Half Marathon and the marathon, which is on Sunday. Might be able to get it on abc13.com. I'm not sure. It's 6:50 a.m. local time, 12:50 a.m. UK time on Sunday. On the men's side, on the half marathon side, you've got Helena Beeries going in there. From the Brits, you've got Callie Thackeray, Steph Twell, Rose Harvey, all going in. This is the half marathon. And on the men's side, there's 4 who've broken 59 minutes, with Abel Kipchumba, who's done 58:07 in that. Galen Rupp from America's also listed to race, and of course others. And on the marathon side, the most interesting aspect is the women's side. Fastest woman in the field is Degafa from Ethiopia, only with a 2:21. But Philly Bowden, who ran 2:26.16 last year, and Rosie Edwards, who ran 2:31. They're both in the field, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on. And I think that's pretty much what I've got for this week. So I hope you have a good week. I hope the tracks stay defrosted and people can train on them. And yeah, have a good one.